Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Last week I had dinner with the Emperor of China. Well, actually he was the Emperor of Tang Dynasty, but who's counting? We had a really great time catching up over some takeout. He told me all about how awesome his dynasty was, and I even got to try some of his favorite snacks from 1400 years ago. It was such a blast from the past. When I first got the invitation to come over for dinner, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. Turns out that emperors really like their creature comforts just like the rest of us. His palace was just a short walk from my apartment, so I strolled right over. I brought along a bottle of wine and a bouquet of fresh flowers as a housewarming gift since he had just moved into this new palace. The grand entrance was absolutely breathtaking with towering golden pillars and a huge courtyard out front. I felt like an absolute peasant walking through the front door and into the reception hall. Everything was made of pure gold and the walls were covered with beautiful paintings of court life in the Tang Dynasty. There were servants everywhere tidying up, setting out food and making sure everything was perfect. I was led through a series of hallways until we finally arrived at his throne room. He was sitting on a large throne made of pure gold and decorated with intricate carvings. I did my best to bow the proper way, while trying not to stare at the giant pile of gold in front of me. Once I had composed myself, we got down to business. The emperor wanted to hear all about my life as a historian and how my research was going. I told him about my work on the Silk Road, and he gave me some great suggestions for my next book. He also wanted to know what life was like in my time period. So the first told him all about the Industrial Revolution, the Ottoman Empire, and the American Civil War. He was very interested to hear about all the goings-on in the outside world. After our conversation, it was finally time for dinner. I was led into a beautiful dining hall with a huge round table in the center. It was set with exquisite dishes and utensils. All the food was served on 24-karat gold plates and Christopher cutlery. Okay, I may have gotten those two things confused. And the table was covered with delicious food from all over his empire. There were piles of roasted duck and chicken, bowls of noodles and dumplings, plates of fresh fruit and more. And of course, no Chinese feast would be complete without some fine-aged vinegar. I ate so much during this dinner and it was all so delicious. I think it is safe to say that the Emperor of China takes the crown for throwing the most epic dinner parties. It was a little difficult to eat with chopsticks at first, but after a while I got the hang of it. Turns out that emperors don't get to use regular chopsticks like the rest of us. Oh no. They're given a pair of golden chopsticks as a gift when they come of age. My imperial chopsticks were presented to me in a beautiful box lined with silk. They were so ornate that I almost didn't want to use them. Almost the emperor and I got to talking and he told me all about his favorite snacks from back in the day. Apparently, the royal court was a big fan of candied fruits, spiced nuts and grilled fish. Who knew emperors could be such foodies? We tried some of his favorite recipes, and they were absolutely divine. Candied fruits were a bit like candied apples, only better because they used real fruit, and the spiced nuts were a perfect mix of sweet and savory. The grilled fish was flaky and delicious, but I couldn't help but miss the tangy flavor of modern vinegar. As the evening wore on, we talked about everything from art to poetry to the latest fashion trends. I was surprised to learn that the emperor was a big fan of poetry, and he even recited some of his own work for me. He was also very interested to hear about the fashion trends in my time period, and he asked me to bring along some pictures to show him next time. I told him all about the hoop skirts and bustles that were popular in the 1800s, and he was absolutely fascinated. He even asked if he could try one on. I laughed and told him that maybe next time. Before I knew it, it was time to go. I thanked the emperor for such a wonderful evening and promised to bring him some more pictures of life in my time period. As I walked home, I couldn't help but smile. What an amazing night it had been. Who knew that the Emperor of China was such a fun guy?